All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get started with this topic here today that I'm providing a training on, which is exposing the trends, the coaching trends for 2025 that are really providing opportunity and how to use these trends in certain areas specifically to attract and to serve and to scale at a much higher level so that you have a greater impact. And partially do this to help people to avoid from being left behind because things change. And I believe it may be our human nature to continue to do the things that we've always done. And sometimes that works out just perfectly and ideally. But when the landscape around us changes and we don't adapt to it, then, well, we do often end up getting left behind. And I want to make sure that doesn't happen to anybody here in this community. Before I jump on into things, though, I'm going to be revealing these trends for a very specific purpose. And what that purpose is to help coaches and creators and consultants. And so if you are in that category and you've been putting things out there, you've been developing programs, maybe working with clients one-on-one, or maybe even working with clients in online group programs, but you're not really getting the financial outcomes that you'd like to have. Well, I want to fix that by introducing some of these trends and give you the inspiration to incorporate these into your practice. And before I do fully jump on into things, I want to encourage you to play full out in this live stream, in this training space here, to really allow these ideas to not only, kind of float around you, but to embody themselves inside of you. And the reason I say that is because my goal and my mission when I'm serving clients and helping transformational experts to have a greater impact is to reach more people, to have that impact, to really be able to serve and also to be rewarded financially. And sometimes there are barriers that get in the way, and sometimes those barriers are we don't realize how valuable we are. And one of the things that I say, and the reason why I coined the brand name One True Calling, is that I know for absolute certain that each one of us has a calling inside of ourselves. We have natural gifts and we're meant to serve certain people, but sometimes we forget. We forget how valuable we are. So I want you to play full out and drop on into the comments as I ask some of these questions in regards to how valuable you are. And one of the places that we can do an assessment of this is to look at what you have come through, what you have gone through to come up to the ability to be a coach. And so the first question I have is, have you been through any major life challenges and transitions and obstacles that you've had to overcome in order to develop your skills and your interest in a certain area? And if that resonates with you, if you've overcome a major life challenge, drop into the comments and just say yes. Because as I've worked and continue to work with clients, one of the places where I find the greatest treasure and the best place to design a coaching program or an offer around are the challenges that we've been through ourselves. And for instance, for myself, when I first started in online teaching and training back in 2008, well, there wasn't much of a roadmap. And I had to overcome some very significant challenges to figure out how to do things. And part of those challenges were financial challenges. Like I had sold my design build company that I had built up to over $12 million in sales. I had a good nest egg, but I didn't have a coach at the time. There was not a lot of coaches around that could help me. And the bigger problem was that even though there actually were coaches around, I had what I call the I know that already syndrome, and I thought I could figure things out by myself. And so the challenge that I had to go through because of that mindset barrier is that I lost almost everything. And things got so bad that my utilities got cut off just as I was getting ready to do a live stream. And fortunately, I come from an entrepreneurial family, and we're survivors. We don't let things get in the way, even utilities being shut off. So I did what I made sense to me. I asked my neighbor if I could run an extension cord out the window to their house. And long story short, that webinar ended up being highly successful, attract a business investor who invested $30,000 into my media company launch. And so I say that as example. What is a challenge that you've been through, a specific challenge that maybe you are inspired and maybe you're already serving clients in this area? And if there is something specific that comes to mind, a challenge that you've been through, drop it on into the comments so that we can affirm and confirm it. Because again, that is where our value comes from, the challenges that we've gone through and being aware of them. Sometimes we get embarrassed by them. And if that's you, if you're embarrassed by the challenges that you've been through, I want to say it's not your fault because that's a natural instinct. And I was embarrassed myself having my power turned off and not having, money to provide for my daughter and the food and different things like that. But getting past that and getting out into the light and realizing that our challenges are our gifts. Our challenges are our gifts. When we claim them and we don't let them become a source of embarrassment. So I want you, if you have any embarrassment about the challenges that you've been through, I want you to take that challenge, that embarrassment, and just toss it behind you and just toss it like literally behind you. Any embarrassment, just toss it behind you and let that, just the shame and the embarrassment to become separated and become behind you and still hold on to the gift of the learning and drop into the comments what that learning is because that is your gift. The next area, in terms of just kind of assessing how valuable you are as a coach, is to look at what you have invested in terms of your education. Like, how many people have gone through high school, right? That's like, how many years is that? That's 12, 4 years of high school and maybe 3 or 4 years of underling school. That's like 7 years plus or minus of school. And how many people have gone through that level of schooling? Drop into the comments. Yes. That's 7 years of education. And if you've gone on to college, maybe you've done 2 years or 4 years of college, or maybe you've done graduate school. And that is tremendous value that you have inside of yourself. And those tools, whether they're specific to what you're doing, are still there as tools of communication, your ability to think critically, your ability to speak and to write and to do mathematics. Those are all treasures that are inside of you. And if you've accomplished those things, high school and college, drop again into the comments, yes, I've accomplished those things. That value is inside of me. And then the final one, before we jump on in, is to just ask you this question. Have you also invested specifically into the skills of coaching and whatever transformation that you bring? Have you invested like into training programs? Have you done some certification programs? Have you invested in some training programs around maybe online marketing or social media marketing? And if you've invested $5,000 so far, just raise your hand and just affirm this, that you've invested at that level. If you've invested more, $10,000 into your coaching, education, workshop, certifications, drop down into the comments and drop in there what amount you have invested into your coaching treasure chest. The treasure chest of skills and modalities. Drop on in how much you have invested in the treasure chest of skills that you have for other people. And if you're listening to the recording of this, do these drop on ins as well, because uh, we want to affirm. I want you to affirm how valuable you are to the clients that you serve, because as I jump on into the training here today and share the top trends for coaches, what I want you to do is realize how valuable you are, to really feel on into how valuable your skills are, your challenges that you've been through, the investments that you have made to be able to help clients. And I know that most people who follow me want to give back. We're givers. We want to have an impact in the world. And I want to say this is you're going to have a greater impact in the world when you are financially compensated for the gifts that you have. If you are struggling financially, there is no judgment about that. There are always new levels of learning and new ways of implementing. That's why I'm doing this live stream here today. And the first place to begin is to embody and to know within yourself, to remember back everything you've done to bring these skills to the clients that you work with, and to be feeling good about being compensated for that. So let's go ahead and jump on into things. And like I said, when I was referring back to where I first started in this industry, where I didn't know a whole lot. I thought I knew how to market online, but I had to do, I know that already syndrome. And so I want to encourage you that as you listen to some of these trends, there may be part of these things that are not new to you. Some of them will be new to you. But I really want to give you the encouragement to put aside any disbelief and to stay open to learn things, because it is so interesting in this new economy, in this new way of doing things that is changing all the time. Well, what I've noticed is that oftentimes it is the underdog, the sometimes the youngest people. We say, "Oh, my, 10-year-old nephew can build my website for me," and oftentimes they can be skilled, and the reason why is because they don't have that "I know that already" syndrome, and so they. I'm speaking to the underdogs here, to the people um, who are excelling by trying out new things, by having a growth mindset. So I want to encourage your growth mindset as I jump on into these four key areas that are creating opportunity right now. And they're split into the categories of the trends for attracting and retaining clients, that we might call that the marketing side of things. The second thing is on serving, the transforming and really touching people deeply and at a holistic level. The third thing is the tech tools that are allowing us to scale up and to reach more people. And then the fourth one is a really interesting area, which is some of the new frontiers that are they're emerging right now. They're not coming, they're emerging. These are trends that are happening right now. So the first area is trends for attracting and retaining clients. And this is, of course, the place where everything starts, right? If we're not attracting clients, then not a lot is happening. So I'm going to give you some tips around how to attract clients and trends around that. But then sometimes we attract, a client for a session or two sessions, but they don't stay for whatever reason. And so I want to go into both of these areas. And the first one, the first trend that is so near and dear to my own heart is creating community because people really crave meaning and they want to be part of something that's bigger, kind of like a big family. And that is a gift that I have because I came from a large family and we got split apart at one point in time. And so deep inside of me is always this craving to create community. And so community is the best place to serve people because as much as it can be good to work with clients one-on-one, but by creating a greater community container, a group program where you can serve a lot of people at the same time becomes a much better way to retain clients because then you can have a program where people work with you for 3 months or 6 months or year or years when you have a powerful community container. And adjacent right next to that is what I call the personal brand as community. So, yes, you are the leader, right? You're the people, you're the person that people often first hear about. Like they're like, "Oh, I heard this person doing this amazing thing, and I started following them, and then I joined their mastermind or their group program, and lo and behold, I discover that it is now an entire community of well-resourced people. These are what we might call the mastermind. And the mastermind that I'm presenting at tonight, my speakeasy mastermind, is a high ticket mastermind. And so, what that means is that everybody in that program is achieving and operating at a very high level. And so, even though we do have a leader, and it requires a special kind of leader to be able to not only be that leader and to be the brand, the face of that community, but then to allow other people to take positions of leadership and to ask and to delegate. And that is what it means to create a personal brand as a community. The next area is around embodiment, and this goes pretty closely to this. So people are there's many different options in the marketplace right now. People have like a million different options for coaches and programs and different things like this. And the thing that often becomes the choice point is that people buy lifestyle, they buy values and the energy of the person who is leading that and what you stand for at a deeper level. Particularly, like I said, when you are leading a group of people, and it may again be the topic that draws the people in to be part of that program, but it is really the values that are reflected within the container and the energy that's in that container and what it stands for, the values and the vision and the destination that you are bringing people to. And I call that embodiment. A leader has to be able to embody that, embody it within members of the community, and be able to transfer those values to members of the community. And here is an example of it from my own personal space. I call it the freedom lifestyle. And so the mission and the promise of what I do and what I help people to achieve is roughly called the freedom lifestyle. So it's the ability to have a high net worth income that is produced completely virtually, provides the ability to work from anywhere And because it's a container and it's a group program and you're scaling and serving a lot of people at the same time, well, you don't have to work very much. It doesn't require that much one-on-one time. So it's not like seeing a client for 1 hour. You're seeing, maybe, 20 clients or 100 clients, for a couple hours a week. And that is the freedom lifestyle. And it looks like this. It looks like this, the ability to work from anywhere. And don't want to give the false impression that I'm on the beach all the time, but I do have the ability, and I go to Playa del Carmen, I go to the beaches in California in the summertime. I get to enjoy working from anywhere. And this is what I stand for. This is the mission, the values that the incubator circle is all about. This is what I transfer on to people. And we get to have fun while we're doing it, while we're doing work that really has a massive impact in the world. And we work from beautiful locations. It's the freedom lifestyle. And one of my mentors, he has a slightly different way of saying it. He talks about the sovereign consultant. This is my mentor, James Kemp, and he's based in Bali right now. I believe he's originally from Australia. But he has a mastermind group with, I think, about 100, maybe about 100 people in the container, maybe a little bit less than that, maybe 70 people, something like that. And he produces about $100,000 per month. $100,000 per month. So it's a seven-figure business, right? It says about 1.2, $1.3 million of income generated, and it is just him and one other person. It's the sovereign consultant. So these are the values and the mission and the lifestyle that is the trend to put front and center. It's not necessarily the technique or the method, it's the values and the lifestyle. The next area to consider is micro niching. And again, because there are so many people in the marketplace right now, in order to break out of the crowd and to speak to a very specific problem, the micro niching with meaning, which is can represent speaking to specific life stages. So maybe you're a coach and you work with people at a certain stage in their life, right? People go through transitions at different points in time in their life, and they have emotional truths that emerge in relationship to those different stages. And so, by micro niching, this is a trend now that will allow you to stand out. Old is new again. This is a representation of one of those micro niches. So I have a close friend of mine, Joseph Rodriguez, who has a quite successful YouTube channel, and it is all around manifestation, new thought, and in a larger sense, you might call it spiritual faith. It's making a comeback. And this is his YouTube channel. He puts out a video and boom, it gets, almost 3,000 views. And then, of course, he has, back end products and services. Transforming deeply and holistically. So not just like, curing, diabetes, but curing the entire ecosystem, right? The lifestyle, we call it lifestyle medicine. So transforming people deeply and holistically. Long-term containers are really the tool that allows that to occur in my experience. So long-term commitments, long-term containers that are group programs that happen over a 6 or 12 month program. Serving more holistically is one of the trends that's happening right now. And this is super interesting. I've got some great examples of this, which is blending business, brand, and embodiment. I was just at a brand training for a 3-day brand training event. And you might think, oh, it's going to be all about business. But no, it was a holistic program, very different than really any business program I've been to. And this is one of our speakeasy members, Michael, and he's an expert at the business side of funnel building. He built the funnels for um, Brendan Bouchard, has produced, tens of $1 million worth of sales. So he's a funnel building, he's a marketing business strategist expert. And he has a partner and this his partner here, Jonathan, is an expert at branding, at the communication tools. I mean, truly, he's a world-class communication and branding expert. And then Natalie Hunter is one of the three partners, and she is expert on the spiritual awareness, the spiritual awakening side of things, the embodiment that I was speaking about. So this is the way of bringing things together in a holistic way. And as you can see, it's being done in this particular example by three different people. They have different areas of expertise, but it combines for their business, personalbrand.com, that really lets them stand out and stand above. Hybrid models, this is fairly similar to what I was talking about with the large group containers. You can do a group program that combines everything, right? You can have group training, group peer support. You can also have one-on-one access to you at a VIP level, and you can do everything in between, including having live events. Here are some of the tech tools to scale without burning out. And these are technologies to be able to reach more people. And in particular, some of the ones that stand out to me the most are the platforms that allow you to serve a group of people and have them speaking to each other. Platforms like School, like Go High Level, that allow you to work with a big group of people, and then even having AI-powered tools within that program. Here is one of the examples of an AI-powered tool from personalbrand.com. I didn't reveal their secret sauce here. You can see I've grayed out their QR code, but this was a particular program that they've designed within ChatGPT specifically to help people, man, save days of time developing a brand manifesto. A major time saver, again, allows them to just give this one basically command, and then many people can reach the destination with the click of a button, basically. Now, my final area is in some of the new frontiers in coaching. Spiritual entrepreneurship is the one that's close to my own heart. And this is, we might have called it, purpose-driven business in the not too distant past. But now people are open to these other words. So, spiritual entrepreneurship, awakening. And I've created a new brand that's just emerging right now. It's my mastermind group called the Soul Strategy Circle. And it is the embodiment and an example of this. It embodies the ability for health and wellness and transformational coaches to come together and to embody the soul level calling into a business environment. And that is my own personal calling, and it combines a lot of things that I've learned throughout my life, including spiritual awakening, design, and natural health and healing. And so it's a spiritual business focus, and that is one of the niche areas that has emerged. Neurodivergent models, so serving clients that have different ways of seeing the world, ADHD, neurodivergent clients, and serving them in the way that they learn best, right? It's neurodivergent, like not everybody learns the same way. So these are micro niches, micro areas to focus and provide your offerings within. Uh, Decentralized retreats And these are the kind of a trend that just embraces the fact that you can pop up with an event anywhere now, like because of Airbnb and other ways of uh, the share economy. And here is a perfect example of it. I did a VIP retreat for one of my clients in Playa del Carmen. I was just there doing some work and living for about a month and a half. And I said, hey, why don't you come down? We'll do a 3 day VIP retreat. And, we ended up using the same Airbnb property. It was a 6-story building and it had this pool top space. And I moved the retreat amongst a number of different experiences that are available in that community. So we use the Grand Hyatt, the spa, uh, the common areas at the Grand Hyatt for some of the work that we did, and we moved around. We went to some ruins, some Mayan ruins. My client is a shamanic coach, and this was the perfect environment. The Yucatan is the home of the Mayans, and their culture is still is very active there. And so we use this as a micro retreat and a flexible retreat using all the different options. The last one is subscription-based coaching. And so subscription-based coaching is just simply a way of, rather than charging one high ticket price, you can have weekly or monthly payments that make it very easy for people to get started and to start working with you. On the client attraction side, the anti-funnel, and this is using very simple ways like Loom videos, inviting people into Zoom sessions, and other ways that are not funnels at all, but in essence, they are a funnel. They're just different ways of connecting with people. Deep level short form video content is another example of one of the new trends in terms of attracting clients. So these are real shorts, 1 or 2 minute type videos that have a lot of value within them because of how they are focused on the micro niche that they serve. And so, what this means for you in these trends for coaching in 2025 is that it is more important than ever now to stand for something very specific and to embody what you're doing and create layers of transformation so that people really feel on into what you're doing. You're not just selling something, you're embodying it, mind, body, and spirit. Using tech to expand your reach, not overwhelming, and then creating a sacred space online and offline are some of the things that are going to really attract people on into your world. And so, thank you for listening to the presentation here today. And if you want to connect with me personally, you can connect on a Clarity call. You can use this QR code, take a picture of it, and it'll link itself to my calendar so that you can get a 15-minute Clarity call for me and with me if you want to have a greater in-depth conversation about how these trends can be incorporated into what you're doing so that you can produce a high net worth income and the freedom to live anywhere. That's the mission and the promise that I offer to people. And it is a good mission to have. It allows you to serve people, to live and to work from anywhere. And so if you'd like to connect with me, you can do that through that QR code, or you can just send me a DM through Messenger and we'll connect that way. All right. Thanks a lot for joining today. And like I said at the very beginning, you have a treasure chest inside of you. And there is a very specific route that will get you to the revealing and the activation of that treasure. And sometimes the route can be a little bit windy, But the genius that I bring to it and the thing that I value so much is the combination of following the emotional guidance, the non-logical guidance, but then also combining that with a logical way to assess what you're doing, and so that you make smart choices that get you to the outcome in the fastest way possible so that you can serve people and be financially rewarded for it. All right, that's what I got for you. Drop a comment down below. Let me know the greatest thing that you received from this live stream. And you can also drop a comment there if you want to connect with me on a clarity call. All right, we'll see you soon.